Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you will understand." John chapter 13 verses 7. Hello family, warmest welcome back again to the Lovystouch channel. Thank you so very much family for coming back. Let's take a trip to the streets of Zongo. We will be making this delicious and tasty Hausa stew. Definitely one of my favorite stews to ever make because of its distinctive aroma and taste. If you want to learn how and this updated version, please stay tuned. Here are the list of ingredients. I have my canned chopped tomatoes and my tomato paste. For a natural spice enthusiast like me, trust me, it is everything when it comes to this stew. So please be sure to pay attention to that. As the recipe goes on, I'm going to list each and every ingredient. It has also been listed below in the description box. Here is very important. I have my dawadawa, which is the lucost bean, and some beef seasoning and my curry powder, pepper, and here are my proteins. I'll be using some smoked cow foot and some cow meat, which is the beef. To begin with, I'm going to steam this for about an hour at least, okay? Because within an hour the beef should be ready, but not the cow foot. I am going to show you how I deal with this stubborn meat, okay? So I put my beef seasoning on top of the meat, and I'm going ahead to chop some onions and sprinkle it on the meat because it needs it, okay? And once done, I'll go ahead and then blend all my natural spices. The very first of it all is my ginger. Also chop some red onions, and I'm going to put everything in the blender. So aside the garlic, ginger, and the onions, I also have my calabash nutmeg, which is popularly known in Ghana as wediaba. I also have my Aniseed in kitinkiti, cloves, pepper, and some rosemary and some fennel seeds as well. I'll add a bit of water and not forgetting my habanero pepper. So once I'm done, I'll go ahead and put it in a bowl and add the remaining one in the blender on top of the meat, okay? If it's really hard to take it off, just put a little bit of water in the blender and rinse it off. Shake it all right, and go ahead and also add some salt and just go ahead and mix everything together. Allow it to steam for about an hour, but it will take a very long time, so I'm going to transfer it onto the other burner so that I will be free to start my stew, because boy oh boy does it take a long time to make this stew. We are making it from scratch, okay? And yes, I do understand there is lots of oil that you need to be able to make this stew a success. Do not let it scare you, okay? So put your oil in your pot, add your onions, allow it to fry for about 3 minutes so it is caramelized. Once you get that feeling and very aromatic onions flavor, you go ahead and add your lucost bean, which is the dawadawa. That is going to bring out that authentic Hausa stew perfume. Allow that to fry for about 2 to 3 minutes, and once done, go ahead and add your natural blended spices. Here there is a trick to it. Do not add everything at once. Here, divide it into 2 equal parts. Add the half part here and save the remaining half for later use, okay? Make sure everything is well incorporated, and then you go ahead and add your tomato paste. And there's always the sourness issue going on with your tomato paste. Sprinkle that curry powder on top and you'll be good to go, okay? Fry that for about 5 minutes or so. Look, one of the secret ingredients that I had to tell you right from the beginning is we are going to fry this stew for about 5.5 hours. So you would definitely need some patience. Yes, you will need about 10 kilos of patience. If you don't have that, please do not attempt to make this stew, okay? 10 kilos of patience, and then lots and lots and lots of love, okay? So once the tomato goes in, I'll go ahead and sprinkle my peppered powder here, and let's begin to fry the stew for a whole 5 good hours. If you don't have that time, if you think it's too barbaric for you, I do have an easier way to make your Hausa stew, and I'm going to link it here and below as well. So please do check it out. That recipe take less than 5 hours for sure, and please be sure to check that out. Okay, so an hour is here. Our meat is nice and tender, but not the cow food. Okay, kotoje, they are very stubborn. So I'm going to deal with it the right way. I am going to put everything in the stew. Okay, since the stew is going to take that long for it to cook, we've been frying the stew for the past 2.5 hours. So I am going to put in the cow foot at this stage, just so that they will do their thing in there. So I want my cow foot to be very soft and tender. I love and enjoy it so much that way. If you are, on the other hand, want it very tough and not too soft, you just want to wait for about 2 hours more before you add it to the stew. Okay, and that stock, that beef stock, is very, very necessary for you to add it here. Even rinse it with a bit of water, just so that you have everything in the stew. It is a pot of gold right here. So good. It smells amazing. So we have been frying the stew for the past 4 hours. You see me that anytime that I want to stir it, I always completely lower the heat, because I don't want to get hurt at all. So please do the same. Okay, do have an hour upon us. I'm going to add the remaining natural blended spice. You can see this stew is in a very big batch, and we will be storing it up throughout the month. So anytime that we need it, we will go fetch it. And that is why I want to always feel the natural spices anytime that I go for it. Okay, please do the same. It makes a huge difference. All right, so here I'm going to throw in some bay leaf. We are going to grate about half size of the nutmeg, and this will ensure that the stew stays fresher, and we will go for it anytime throughout the month that we need the stew. I do not know who will go through 5 whole hours of this lots of work and just make a very tiny amount of stew. It does not make sense. Anytime that I'm making this, I make sure it is in bulk. Okay, I also added salt, so you just have to taste and add the enough salt that you need in your stew. Okay, so here I'm going to also air fry the beef. All right, you can also choose to deep fry it, but I prefer my air fryer. Always a lifesaver. So this stew has been frying for close to 4.5 hours now. You can really tell the difference, how it has really shrunk. It has reduced in size totally. Yeah, it looked like it was on diet. Anywho, this is the time for us to just scoop the excess oil. We do not need it here. Okay. That was lots of oil. You can definitely use that oil in your shito, or any time that you want to make new stew, you can definitely use it. So right now, let's introduce our super crispy fried beef. Okay, and for garnishing, I'll be throwing in some red onions, and oh goodness, it is so good. Once done, just go ahead and mix everything together. Allow it to simmer for the next 30 minutes, and your stew should be done. We can all recognize that color, right? It's because this lighting is even making it very, very bright, but in person it's really dark, just like your main Hausa stew that you know back home. Absolutely delicious. And for my Hausa stew, I love to first of all pair it with my rice. You can pair it with your wache as well, or even your TZ. Okay, it can be your TZ stew for sure. And this is how Amalia is going to serve you when you go and buy it. It's absolutely nostalgic. So good. Look at that bouncing cow foot, very soft. So good. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe, fam. I'm so thankful that you made it right till the end. And if you did enjoy it, please do not forget to give me a like, comment below, and share to a few friends and family. And if this is your first time here, hello. My name is Lovia from Lovystouch. My main goal here is to cheer you up into making your own delicious meal right at the comfort of your home. I also love to share kitchen related motivational videos, so please come on board and subscribe for more amazing recipes every week. Thank you so very much, family, for watching once again, and just know that you are super beautiful just the way you are. See you in my next one. Bye.